Okay, here we use a while sentinel loop. And what we're doing here is we're getting numbers one at a time from the user, which we will then compute the average of. And so we're not asking the user to tell us ahead of time how many numbers there are. And so we need some kind of a sentinel, that is a flag or an indicator of when the data entry is finished. And the way this works is when the user enters nothing, the data entry is finished by the user. And so to look at the program here, we have to keep track of two things. We have to keep track of the cumulative sum as we go through the numbers, and the count, which counts the number of numbers because we want to compute the average. And so when we get to the end of the program, we will have summed all the numbers, counted all the numbers, and we take the sum and we divide by the count to get the average. So what we do is, first of all, before we get into the while loop, we ask the user to input a number. Please note there's no eval here, and so the number is a string, and there's directions to simply hit enter to quit. And in the while Boolean condition is that as long as x string is not equal to the empty string, this is what would be generated if the user hits simply enter without putting anything in. Then inside the loop we do the eval. Excuse me. We add x into the sum. We add 1 to the count, and then at the bottom of the while loop we ask the user for the next input. And so it's a repeat of the statement that we did just before getting into the while loop. And so if the user puts a non-empty string here, the while will continue. If the user hits enter, it will terminate. And so one way or the other, eventually, hopefully, the user will hit enter to indicate termination of input, and in that case, a print statement is executed. So to demonstrate this, let me run it. Okay, it's asking for a number, so I'll give it a 1, I'll give it a 2, I'll give it a 3, I'll give it a 4, I'll give it a 5, and I will give it a nothing, and it tells me the average of the numbers is 3, which is, of course, true. And so the way the termination happened is after putting that last number in, the next input I just simply hit an enter, and in that case this condition would be false, the while would terminate, and the print would execute. Make sure you understand how this program works.